Welcome to Open Minds, Open Mic, the place to be on a Friday night. We have a special delight. Diane Ward's in the house. We got Nemo Sum, Gustav, Lantern Carrier, Shockie G. We have Jenny here listening and supporting the poetry as always. Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick before I start this poem. Thank you all. I feel blessed for having you here and being a part of my life and for inspiring me to keep this going and keep doing what I do. So yeah, I want to start off with the piece that we wrote just an hour ago at the writing workshop that I hosted before this. It's called My Place in the Sun. Culturally diverse, merging slang words, wonderfully traverse, urging things heard. This place I hail from is so unique in its ways. I miss the taste of oxtail from around the way. Fried chicken from the gas station, a delectable sensation. Temptation lingers, narration sideways from street singers. Expectation, drinkers. Gestation of our ways, whispers from strippers kept their minds sane. Sunshine all day, everywhere, every time in this beautiful place that I call mine, where I used to roam. It's been so long I miss the palm trees and the summer sun. For South Florida is my true home. So much fun. And memories bleed out in the streets, treats unseen by the tourists from the beach. I miss this place, but I'll always keep a bit of sand in my mind for the rest of time. A place I go where I dream when I'm in deep sleep. Thank you. All right, so yeah, coming
Beautiful,
up. I
really
appreciate
beautiful
that.
piece.
Yeah, I want to expand on it. I didn't have much time to write for it, but it was like it's about a place I love in my home and I miss it. So like the words
It's
just came
heartfelt.
out.
That's for sure. It's heartfelt. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and you can hear how much you're feeling it. As a listener, I could feel it too. So that's
That's awesome, man. I
yeah.
appreciate that. Cause I know how you write. I always feel what you're writing. Like I could,
Thank
you
you.
have no choice but to feel your word, brother. Like, yeah. So thank you guys so much for the good feedback. I'm gonna go back to this poem. I want to really flesh it out, and I think this will be one of the ones that make it to the book, my first book that I'm
You
working
got
on. So
whispers from strippers up there?
yeah, I said whisper, yeah, whispers from strippers kept their minds sane. That's South Florida
Florida,
for
right?
you. Yeah, South Florida, baby.
Okay.
Sunshine and rain. All right, so let's keep this thing moving. Coming up next, we have not only a powerful poet, but a good friend of mine. Uh, I don't know if they'll agree, but yeah, a good friend of mine that I'm really drawn akin to, and someone that I respect, and someone that helped us out when we were in need, and was like, "Yo, I got you. Like, you need help? I got you. I ain't got much, but it's for you." And so I really appreciate that. You kept our internet on. You made last week's show possible and this week's show possible. And yeah, we just appreciate everything you do, and it's amazing hearing you. Let's all unmute for a moment and give it up for Shockie G.
Shockie, yeah, go for it.
Thank you, Sharky.
Oh, we friends. Hey, we're boys.
Ha!
We
Yeah,
boyfriends.
yeah. Hey, that's my dog right there. You. All right,
No, I'm
cool.
just kidding.
As long as we on the same page, man, I got you. Bet. All right, yeah. So if you can bless us with some words, man, we'd appreciate that.
I guess I'll read what I was working on in the workshop. It's not done though. All right. Standing on a rooftop, you can feel the city's heartbeat faster than usual. You wonder if its concrete arteries are clogged with cholesterol faces. Wonder when the last time the city exercised its right to freedom. I've never been afraid of heights. It's the ground that scares me, a procession of worker bees buzzing past my body. Honey, you think you know how lonely feels. My heart is an empty station waiting on a train to nowhere. You are a hot dog cart on a Friday afternoon, a place to let off steam. If you look, my dreams are hidden in graffiti hieroglyphs so high, you wonder how anyone got up there without hitting the ground. Baby, I hit the ground running, and maybe I will not reach those heights again. But the city, caffeine high, adrenaline junkie, has not slept in decades. What can it teach me of dreams? Keep walking, boy. We are lions here.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yo, you like a hot dog cart blowing off steam. Yo.
I put
And
in the chat too many quotables. I
right?
just
You would
gave
have had
up
to
because
rewrite the
by
whole
the time
poem in the
I would
chat.
have, I'm trying to write something and then you go and hit me with, I'm like, you know what? I just give up. Let me just pay attention. It just wonderful, Shockie. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
That
that's why they go by
transition
Shocky.
from, I'm sorry.
Now go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, that transition from bees to honey,
Yeah.
thing of beauty. Really, it was amazing.
Yo, and what we only had like 30 minutes to like flesh out a whole concept and then like maybe 10 minutes to write in that and while we were writing uh me and Gustav wanted to rehearse. So like that amazing poem just came out of Shocky in a matter of minutes. Like from concept to that and yo I really hope that you flesh that out because I plan on fleshing out mine and I'm so glad that you chose that as the writing prompt because like I could feel the love uh for that place just like how I put into it and I'm excited to hear like the fleshed out versions. We gonna have to maybe next Friday we'll polish those up and we'll display them again because yeah those are masterpieces. All right, but let's keep this thing moving because we want to get around to it. We want to hear everybody. So up next on the list we got me and Gustav actually with a piece that we just wrote what this week.
Over a period of time, yes.
Well, it took a little bit for the concept to brew, and then I think we banged it out in a week,
Yeah.
few days. It was like playing a game of chess. Like he sent me his thing, and then I wrote something to it, and I'm like, check, your turn, right? And we went back and forth until we had it finished, and yeah, it came out pretty good, man. Let me see. I'm gonna take this off now. Hopefully my headphones are charged enough. I didn't like being limited by that thing. Ooh. All right, so yeah, coming up next, we got me and Gustav. If you want to introduce the poem.
This is exercising the fungi.
The priest arrived with holy book in hand to rid the man of demons he thought were grand. But little did he know, inside the man were mushrooms that unlocked a cosmic plan. The priest spoke hollow words, for they were all he knew. But little did he know they would not do. The man found a power deep from within, and slowly he had broken free from his sin.
Do you hear voices? Are you possessed of demons as yet unnamed? Are you defenseless against hellspawn? God refrain from reaching out, for your incubi and succubi have total dominion. That, I am sad to report, is my expert exorcist opinion. Only the power of the Lord through me can these spirits banish. For a small fee, I will make these devilish visions vanish.
Such strange thoughts flicker through my mind. These incandescent visions dance before my eyes. Am I possessed by spirits unkind? Or have I swallowed some strange surprise? I hear voices that are not my own and see things that cannot be real. Have my senses become overthrown and I cannot trust what I feel?
You are right to not trust these sensations. These are demonic depredations. The power of Christ can save your soul. But first, the matter of my fee before you can be made whole. I am a willing servant of God, but I too must eat, though it seems odd that you must pay to be saved from demons and frights. I assure you, Jesus has you in his sights.
The priest tried to exorcise the demons within, but the man knew the truth and would not give in. The mushroom's power gave a glimpse of divine, unlocked the secrets beyond space and time. He saw through the lies of the priest's holy book, realized the power the priest had mistook. The priest's words fell onto deaf ears as the man laughed away all of his fears.
But the man knew better. His soul was not lost. He found the light within at no monetary cost. He thanked the priest for his time on his journey to perpetrate crime. The priest fell down with a heavy heart, and the man's spirit soared to a new start. The demonic grip had finally loosened, and the man's mind was now fully opened.
These visions I see come straight from the divine. They assured me the demons you see are not mine. Your exorc's opinion, though expert it might be, it's not what I need now, for I am finally free. Feels like a trip that likes you cannot know, and the demons you seek are just a part of your show. Your fee might be small, but it's greed that drives you. Straight to the devil you crawl. I know this much is true.
Fine then, if my fee you will not pay, I did not come here to play. I came here to save your soul, to help you and make you whole. If you send me on my way, forever like this shall you stay. All your neighbors will you shun, as they will know the demons won.
You come to me with promises of salvation, yet you are the one that deserves damnation. Your greed and hunger for wealth and power are the demons that make you cower. You claim to hear the voice of God, but all I see is a charlatan's facade. Your deceit and lies will not prevail, for in the end your true self will unveil.
The man realized the demons were but a lie. His soul was now free to grow and to fly. The priest, consumed by greed and fear, had lost the truth. It was now clear. In the end of this tale, it was the man who won, for he found the power of the soul and the sun. The priest was left behind, lost in the dust, for he's just a man consumed by his lust. Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, that second time around, I caught like more things like that. That's just dope. That piece is dope.
I agree. I love how the piece is very cohesive, and yet you both have your own distinct voices. That's really cool.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that's the second time that we've ever read it. Um, yeah, I think it came out pretty good. I knew once it was time to perform, like, you know, we would step up to the plate. It was it's an interesting piece. The concept came to Gustav a while back, and I had to ruminate on it for a while and really kind of flesh it out how it would be, and I think we nailed it, bud. Good job, Gustav. I appreciate you, man. It's another add another one to our collab list, buddy. Yeah.
That's 3 or 4.
I think that's 3.
3, Illuminatus syllabus,
Yes.
telekinesis thesis, exercising the fungi. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
and
3.
we're working on Whispers in the Wind.
Whispers in the Wind, indeed.
That'll be the
There we
fourth
go,
one,
4.
which is going to be a song that's actually going to be recorded with the beat and all this. And I just spoke to Sfungal, and him and Zamkanto might do a verse.
Right on.
You know how me and CP Mays are gonna do the verse, and you and Daniel are gonna do a verse? Well, Sfungo and Zamkanto are gonna do a verse along with my wife and my cousin Jennifer. So we're gonna have like it's gonna be 4 verses, 8 people, 4 different hooks, and we go back and forth with the verse. Like I want everyone to take their time on it, so I'm not rushing, but just know in sometime this year, we're gonna have a really cool song with a music video, a lyric video and everything, so we can have you guys listening to that and yeah, it's gonna come out really good. It's about talking to your spirit animals. And it's called Whispers in the Wind. So yeah, look forward to that. I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it. But yeah, let's keep this show going. So coming up next here, we've got someone who I consider a friend and a spiritual, I wouldn't say leader, but a spiritual guide. He has been there for me when I needed it, and he just inspires me every time I hear this man's poetry. And we are going to be working on a collab soon, which it's the next thing that I'm going to be writing. So look forward to that as well. Yeah, Lantern Carrier.
Thank you. Thank you. I've got my piece, but in keeping with your spirit, you said your workshop was about cities, right? So I tried to pull out my piece on New York. I couldn't find it, but I found my teachers instead. It's called My New York. I admire New York. My eyes are enamored of her soul's dynamic beauty. My New York is always astir and bustling. Also, she's marching in gigantic strides. Success emerges before her very eyes. The dawn breaks each day, feeling New York's heart consumed with new zeal. She hates to be absorbed in a fog of fruitless brooding and empty inactivity. Moreover, she wants to be free, eternally free. Never within her four corners will she tolerate the air of captivity. If it is part of her nature to express herself boldly, I cannot blame her. To me, first of all, she deserves this acme of self-confidence. And secondly, God wants New York to be what she is. My New York has courage. My New York has confidence. The problems of anxiety and uncertainty may cover the length and breadth of the world, but New York is an exception. Her youthful certainty is my heart's delight. When I think of my India, it seems that she has endless time. If she does not avail herself of an opportunity today, it will return to her tomorrow. But when I think of my New York, it seems that she's facing a unique opportunity at every moment. If she loses her golden opportunity today, it will never return. New York knows how to seize. She knows how to struggle. She knows how to push forward. She knows how to exert herself consciously and dynamically. All blunders fail to plague her. Empty of fear is her heart, whichever grows into the fulfillment of a promising future. Blessed is she. My New York is not a challenge. She's not a competition. She's not a running race. She's not a victory. What then is she? She's a great promise, wherein grows and flowers the infinite unknown. Sri Chinmoy. And that's New York. And I'll do my poem now. Let's see, which one shall I do?
That was good. I like that. And that was from your mentor,
Sri Chinmoy, yes.
Trichinmoy. That was beautiful.
Yeah. And it's just giving the essence there. When I beheld your beauty, my breath dissolved in wings of light. I wanted to pull the moon down, my heart a sacrifice for the bewilderment of thy gaze. It is your love that adorns this garden, fragrantly blossoming in the magic of daffodils. The earth is as hallowed as the celestial heavens, the bee as the honeysuckle on which it feeds. I said, I just want to see you, my sweetheart. You said, what do you need? I said, intensify the profound agony of my longing. You replied, what will you do with this yearning? I said, offer myself at the dust of your feet. You replied, come, my darling, what's holding you back? I said, I just wish to immerse myself in your sweetness. You inquired, what do you need? I said, sweet sacrifice. You said, hush, don't reveal all my secrets. Just know that the eloquent, the downtrodden, the rich and the poverty-stricken, the form and the formless, eventually dissolve in me. It is only I, my child. The rose does not blush in its nakedness, neither does the flowing river avoid the sea. Then you left, like a lifelong bride, suddenly divorced, triggering the grief of separation. Deep down in the agony of my despair, I have dyed my wounded heart with longing. Carving a path for thy return, I washed my soul with tears, became feverish from day and night rants, developed incoherence from calling out thy name. I am a chained melody, awaiting thy peerless wine, to sing unfettered like the unfurling moon, a birthless and deathless symphony. In my sleep and in my waking, my amnesia and hallucinations, I see only you, my sweetheart, only you. In thy absence, this love is a hollow prison, awaiting thy sweetness to be uncaged. Ah, you've returned, like a bewildering angel, inundating this temple with kisses, lips incoherent, my tongue mute. The earth massages my feet as I stumble, overwhelmed by an intoxication of love. I hear the enchantment of sparrows and nightingales, those sweet familiar songs, resonating ecstasies in my core. They soothe me in trance, like unfamiliar whispers, a variety of song bearers wooing my being with delight. A new dawn comes dancing, harmonizing a breath, now inconsistent with its natural tempo. Daybreak caresses my face, comforting the heart with its rays. My ego dies as you pour nectar into my being, trickling its way like a fine vintage into the profundity of the soul. Behold, the stars are so beautiful, a thousand rays of incandescent light, majestic, as luminous as the crimson sun. I know naught but the intensity of thy smile, tugging at my heart with its sweetness, the scented breath of your silhouette, fervently kissing and charming my soul. The arrow of true devotion is a one-pointed love hunger, devouring my spirit. Only you, my beloved, all else is meaningless to me. Of what use is the sky's limitless blue? I shall blend in every heart on the day I blend in you. Anton Carrier, thank you.
Wow. And you see why it's taken me a bit to make a collab with him. He just like I have to really step my game up. I have to bring something special, and I'm sure I will. I know I can find it in my heart.
Lantern's
Yeah,
great to collab with, though. He's a
y-
great guy to work with.
I know,
yeah.
I know. Don't
And
be afraid, don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid. I'm not intimidating. I just know that I want to
You could
bring.
start, and I just follow. I can't
Okay.
do anything
Oh,
really.
okay.
As
If we
a
could,
creative writer, I can do anything.
okay, if you want to do it that way, maybe I'll start out. That'll give me a little more confidence too.
Yeah, yeah. If you
Yeah.
start, you have more confidence, and I
Yeah.
follow.
Okay. So, you are actually the next piece that I'm gonna be writing. So, I'm looking forward to
Sweet,
working with
sweet.
you this week. This
Yeah,
coming week, we'll
I've got
work
a
on it.
collab with the New Year on Monday night. I
Yeah.
think it's called A Taste of Flavor or something like that.
Okay.
And I've got an awesome guy, two of us are doing it together.
Awesome. Yeah, so I'll be working on that this week, and then maybe next Friday you guys you'll get to hear that. So yeah.
Sweet, sweet.
Yeah, always mesmerizing, and not only mesmerizing, but just the imagery. Like I said, he's one of the few people that I don't have to close my eyes to like envision what he's saying. Like with my eyes open, I can, he just
Yeah,
paints such a beautiful
yeah.
picture, and it's so hard to do that, and yet
You
you
have a
pull it off
very receptive soul,
flawlessly.
Thomas. Don't belittle yourself. You have a very receptive soul. That's why I speak to you and Gustav and asked you to give up those little things so you could progress
Yeah,
faster. I'm doing it out
yeah,
of love.
yeah. My wife tells me that too all the time. She's like, "You're your worst critic." She's like, "You're amazing. Stop saying that you're not, because it's only holding you back." She's like, "You need to realize your potential." And I think sometimes being humble gets in the way of me being creative, because I'm like, "Oh, I'm not that good, but I need to let go of that and just let it flow,
Well,
right?"
Alexandra is still saying that. I mean, she does amazing graphics. She says, "Oh, I'm not so
Yeah,
good."
they're okay. Look who we just got, everybody. Let's all
Hi,
welcome
Vayl.
Vale. I added you to the list here. Um, and here's where we're at now. I'll go ahead and let's post a list real quick just so Vale can see. And yeah, this next man is gonna take it there too with the visuals, man, with the open eyes visuals and the intensity. Rocking the Shockie G beanie. Support.
That's right.
Yo, I want one. I'm gonna have to get me one. I'm gonna get as soon as I get a little bit of extra cash, I'm getting one. Definitely. Yeah, so Nemo Sum, if you'd be so kind as to bless us with your words, we'd really appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, thank you. It's wonderful to be here. Uh, you guys are so talented. Um, okay. I have a microtriptych, which is 3 thematically connected micropoems. One last time past the playground where I realized that I was alone. One more time round the wheel where I played, creating companions in my head. And I'll miss them, my phantom friends. But I need to grab the handles on my bike one last time, use the pedals to push my way past the bullshit and into the blissful ignorance of something that doesn't know, that doesn't have to know about being an adult, about being betrayed in love, about being collateral damage, about being used as a weapon, hardened like a bunker buster. Because I remember how my mom told me the words I should say to my dad when I was 6, and she was angry when I got it wrong, like a little boy would. I saw a vision of my parents as I imagined them as a child, like smiling ghosts at the end of the film. All was good and all was forgiven. And my heart leapt, like finding home at last, like recognizing the face of a loved one, like something real instead of phantoms, instead of the dreams of little boys, instead of something I created to try to make some sense of the pain of a broken family. Sometimes the people who hurt us are monsters. Sometimes the final stage of grief is rage. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I really felt that, man. I had a rough childhood too, and that really spoke to me in my heart, man. Like, yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Like,
Yeah, that last line though, yes,
yeah,
I see you wanting to punch shit.
right? Like,
Thank
Nemo,
you.
as always, it's a pleasure hearing from you, buddy. And hey, I'm gonna say it. you becoming my friend too, man. We've been hanging out recently too and doing some
I know.
workshops and hanging out
I
and
know.
stuff, dude. And yeah, I love all the friends that I've been making here, doing these open mics and going to other open mics and stuff. And like I said, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere in Alberta, so I have no friends, no family around me, and just, you know, these Zoom meetings have become my family, my friends. Me and Gustav talk, on a regular. He chats with my wife and me, and we just, and I'm trying to reach out to more people constantly. Me and Sfongo, just we had a Zoom meeting that lasted like 4 hours the other day. We were just chatting and stuff, and I was helping him out with some artwork and um, yeah, we was doing amazing things. Uh, yeah, it's so good to see you, Karen. Thank you for coming. You've missed the last few, like you had just come in at the last moment, or like I know you're trying, but you got your time zones correct, and we're so glad that you're here. And we're really excited to hear what you have to read for us. But coming up next, we have Diane Ward, and then on deck would be Karen. So, Diane Ward, if you would bless us with some words, we'd appreciate it.
It's such a pleasure to be here. It's so nice to see my friends. Wonderful, dear creatives. Well, sometimes, family and home can mean a lot of different things. And I was a modern jazz dancer. I was with a company. And this first piece, I'm going to read two, it's called Terraced Ballet. I spin with wrapped arms. I dive and slide on shins, where I dive into a swan-like death upon a ball so weighted I can only lift with footed digits. My terraced ballet, my shaded emerald stage, my shins cry aloud, my slipper multi-corseted, my cooling blast from can-carried first aid, my professors suited in the wings. They pray for my flights of fancy, my intermissions either cajoling or threatening, kudos or stressed, tears, careers, or go home. Fresh legs threaten ballet tunes, here always in the wings of the emerald terrace stage. That's called terraced ballet. A lot goes on behind the scenes, so we try to make everything look effortless, right? You pay a ticket, hey. But you still feel like it's home. So you do it because you love it and you're being creative, right? Okay, so this next piece, something a little light. I like to make fun of myself. Sometimes it's good to be humorous about yourself. Okay? This is called Lips Needn't Worry About Me. Let me just also say it's Women's Month. Every month and every day is Women's Month. But okay, for some reason in America, they think March somehow. But it's better than Black History Month, which only has 28 days. So I'm not complaining. All right, I digress. Okay, Lips Needn't Worry About Me. She was a wonderful co-worker and a pianist. Wow. Pianos were housed in the university's soundproof basement. She offered to teach me during our lunch breaks since she had access as a music tutor. Amazing. I wanted to learn to play the piano, and she was graciously willing to teach me during our lunch hour. What a beautiful soul. We entered the soundproof room, and there was a Steinway, just like I'd seen on television. We had neither a piano in my childhood home nor one in my adulthood studio apartment. Nonetheless, I was going to learn with future face bending in mind. She proceeded to explain black keys and white keys, notes and scales. We always started each class with finding middle C. Yeah, okay. A couple of weeks later, we went to the basement and our usual practice room was occupied. She had keys to several rooms, so she selected an alternate one. Uh-oh, different piano. I have a bad feeling. Oh no, and it's not a Steinway. Oh, what? A Krakauer? A piano I'm unfamiliar with. We sit. She asked me to start. Of course, we always start with middle C. I tell her I can only play on a Steinway. I must confess, my guesses were surprisingly good until that day. Honestly, I had no clue where middle C was. All the keys looked the same to me. Middle C seemed to be between the E and the I of a Steinway. We agreed. The piano is not my instrument. Alas, the dream of me and Horowitz sitting side by side, Clyburn meditating on my interpretation, Meta hanging on my every note, Ozawa smiling and flipping his locks, Tilson Thomas clapping, not gonna happen. The tears of relief in their eyes when security carries me off the stage and the orchestra pits thunderous applause, more likely. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. That was beautiful. Oh,
It was an amazing story. I love the reveal about why the Steinway, because of the E on the I. That's
yeah.
just beautiful reveal. Thank you.
Oh, I love it. That was so good. All right, thank you so much, Diane. And coming up next, we have another amazing poet. And yeah, to represent Women's Day, Women's Month, my wife and I wrote an article about Amanda Fielding, because we're working now as content developers for the Psychedelic Association of Canada, and we wrote an article about Amanda Fielding, and we're gonna have that published on the site, and I'm gonna try to actually get an interview with her. So that'll be very interesting. She's a pioneer in the psychedelic world, and we wanted to kind of showcase women in psychedelics for Women's Day. And not a lot of people know about these women. You know, they all think of the men, Terrence McKenna and all these other. But yeah, so it's wonderful having all these wonderful women poets. And the next one is Karen Melander Magoon, coming from Scotland, I believe, right? It's
No, San
oh no.
Francisco.
Oh, that's right. You moved. Okay. So it's early
No,
for
I'm
you. I was gonna say it's late for you, but it's early
yeah,
for you. You've
well, no, it's fine. I just saw that. I thought, oh, let's try to get on. So it's been beautiful. And Diane, interesting. I sang opera on major roles in Europe for 20 years, not in Scotland, more in Germany and Austria. And I had the feeling we always had to be perfect, and there's a lot of stress, but it's also, it's a pretty high standard because you owe it to your ensemble. You owe it to the audience, if not owing it to yourself, to be over prepared. And I don't know how many professions have that kind of a demand. So I know, Diane, you expressed it beautifully. And I went right along saying, yep, that was my life, go out on stage every night and be perfect. So I'm taking some poems from my book, Ghosts and Angels. And some of it actually deals a little bit with that idea of kind of the evolution of the human spirit and how we strive towards being better than we are. So, Imago Dei survival, wombs in space, modified DNA, moral demand to seek, moral demand to survive. A universe demands exploration. A human race demands knowledge. One day we will survive anywhere. We have the capacity to know. We have the capacity to explore any frontier. We have the capacity to outlive our sun, to find other stars and planets, the ingenuity, the moral courage, the divine spark to survive. We learn lessons on earth to steward nature and all life, to embrace all and care for all, to love. As we love, we will learn to survive. anywhere in a universe or a universe of universes to seek knowledge mirroring imago Dei. That is our destiny. So that's more just kind of food for thought. Thank you. My backpack and I took a walk through forests and gardens, through trees and bushes and flowers, beside rivers and lakes, through all that I am and am not, through all that I love and that loves me, as long as I do no harm, through all that I will never possess and never want to possess, all that I want to thrive and that will thrive as long as it is left to be what it is, as long as the trees are left to negotiate with the birds and the moss, with no human interference. My backpack and I took a walk and sat down by a stream where I washed my face with clear water and left no trace of my presence, where I lay in the grass and left the grass to rise again when I left with my backpack. Okay.
I
And
love that
thank
imagery, and
you.
it was like a journey. I felt like I was with
Yeah,
you with your backpack. That
take
was
care of
beautiful.
nature. Don't leave a trace. This is the tower on the hill. The tower on the hill is misted in fog as the consciousness of our world remains blind, still climbing through mist, carrying its packages tied in ignorance to throw into murky depths. Blind consciousness slips on wet stones, seeking the summit, carrying burdens of blindness, burdens of deaf and dumb humanity. Marinages of truth hide in the shadows, seeking to extricate themselves from slavery of ignorance and history, seeking to find ways out of war and inequities, hiding in fog, waiting for dissipation, observing packages tied in ignorance, falling to the ocean depths, floating among crashing waves, crushed in rocks of millennia, massive rocks, still teething while truth waits. That's a little more abstruse, but I like the last lines were what it really means. You know, we're still teething. We haven't figured it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there time for one more?
Oh, yes, of course. We have
Okay.
a pretty small lineup tonight, so
Okay. Well, this
feel
is
free.
called Apocalyptic Anonymity. We wander post-apocalypse in a destroyed world. Anonymous bodies move about the world, sprouting wireless thoughts, projecting possibilities on foot, forgotten flowers in namelessness, unknown to all they meet, yet wearing ideas blowing seeds, seeking fecund souls to grow and blossom. As the nameless flowers, anonymous yet not powerless, become gardens to feed children, fight starvation, seek restoration. Bodies wander in a warring world, wrought of capitalist destruction, anonymous yet obligated to renew that world, allow growth and life, mend a mendacious globe, seek its roots to cultivate a new world, unaware of its own anonymity, needing to rename itself with syllables of peace, hung on a weeping willow that might wring drops of love out of anonymity, to nourish a new unnamed planet, cultivating compassion. Thank you.
Beautiful, wonderful. Oh, I love the tone of all of those. It was just so uplifting.
Thank you.
I've had a rough week, and this is my therapy, and you brought so much joy into my heart with those pieces. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming through.
And blessings to everybody. This beautiful world.
Yes. Awesome. Excellent. All right, so we have Principe just showed up, so I added them to the end of the list here. But so they're on deck, and coming up next we have Robert Dudelstein. Robert, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with your word.
Vayl.
Oh wait, Vale. Oh, I was looking at the I was reading the list wrong. So sorry for that. Up next we have one of my favorite writers, to be honest with you. Their grasp on the human condition and the way that they convey it is awe-inspiring, and honestly, like, I hope one day I can write at the level that you write at. So let's all give it up for Vale Larkin.
Thank you. It's such a funny crowd here tonight because I used to be an opera singer. I'm much older than I look, and I actually sang in Buffalo very, very shortly after Mr. Tilson Thomas left there for greener pastures. So all of my colleagues had gotten to sing under him, and I was like the little baby bird who had never met the great man, and he was gone before I got there. So, because Diane mentioned Tilson Thomas in her poem. Anyway, okay, I'm going to read 2 or 3, depending on how long they turn out to be. We visit a painting of 2 seated men for Kingston Nolly. I am watching him standing and looking at them, my beloved with his strong black reflected back from the 2 painted figures facing each other from either side of the canvas. He speaks of fathers and journeys to faraway lands. He speaks of wars, of brutalities, and the stench of the blood of men like his father in the streets. My beloved and the painting make a shape, a triangular conduit he can link into blood, history, and power flowing around him. He speaks of his childhood in this strange, pale place we call home, both of us, where he speaks Mende with family but has erased his Texas accent. He speaks about grandmothers who crept past soldiers, arms laden, to escape to a larger, steadier, and more secure country most of his peers have never heard of. He speaks of wars most of his peers have never heard of. He speaks of home, that far away land of his ancestors, of his mother and father, of his grandmother again, now that she can return from Guinea after the war that most have never heard of. He looks at the men in the painting. I am not in this picture. I am the inverse, the looming white space that they defiantly inhabit. Their power relates to me only in that the press of their muscles against tyranny highlights them. He talks about knowing how many of his people were wrenched over the ocean. Mende spoken in Georgia, the Carolinas, and Louisiana now. He talks about being one of those left back, still home in their pillaged nation. He talks about going home, where thanks to the Christians, he will always be endangered. He is a strong black man, but they will kill him if they disagree. I am silent and in awe. We talk about chains that come without iron, with Bibles and leaflets and sips out of thimbles. We talk about chains that grow link after link from the ones left behind to the missionaries, to the wars against teachers, to far-off lands where the cab company employs more doctors than the hospital, and where a father, pressured to warping, blames his son for his survival. I am not in this picture. I am blank space. I am the absence here of home, of history, of trust. Trust like a triangle, like a circle of black stars signaling synchronized to one another across the spaces, the voids, the pale, pervasive others. He turns to me, eyes wide up, forehead clear, wide, and the circle of his people opens wider, and momentarily I'm whirled up into it, the shape of trust. And I remember our roots and how they all tangle together and where we all come from, the circle, the dark of the earth. Thank you. Let me get a drink.
I love that piece. You've read it before, and like, I want to hear it 1,000 times again. Like, it's such a
It's for my partner, who's an amazing person, who just, we went to an art show and there was amazing art and we had wonderful experience there.
Yeah, I love the backstory behind it too. It's just great. Like, oh, you're so cool, man.
This next poem is pretty personal. I was not born male or female, I was born intersex, but I was surgically altered at birth, as many children were back then and still are. And this is kind of about that. I didn't learn this information until fairly recently. and I'm 45 and it's been this long and I didn't know. So I'm writing about it right now because it's kind of on my mind. Born, I burned their eyes. Born, I burned their eyes. They cut me to make me missing and misshapen to their desires. I was cut to them. Born, I broke their hearts with my existence, my resistance to the normal way of going about being a body. They cut me into pieces, threw the pieces away, and made me, oh, they made me their desires. Born, I burned their eyes. Their wise men came and told them I was endangered or dangerous or both at once. And anyway, it's so important that they cut me up and pieced me back together into their desires, like I'm burning for their eyes, like razor blades and baby rattles, all blue and pink and red all over. Born, I burned them. They willed me into half of who and some of what, and almost like but never quite, they took me whole and made me broken, cut to their desires. Now, do I have time for one more? Because I have a lighter one after that.
Of course you do. Of
Stunning
course you do.
last line. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I have a question. When did you find this out? You said recently.
Yeah, I had a series of doctor's appointments over the years that kind of raised a lot of questions, and then recently I found out for sure that that was what had happened, and it was pretty traumatic, mostly because of the way my parents responded when I came out as trans, which was very, very negatively, and they
And yet
kept
they were the
insisting,
ones that
yeah,
perpetrated
so.
this horrific act. And you said that this still happens.
Yeah, it's still legal in every state, and they still do it a lot.
That's just
Yep.
just wow.
But
Yeah,
can I
you
read
have
something else really quick?
yeah, of course. And you
Okay.
said it a little later. I mean,
Yeah, a little lighter.
I love
A
when
little
you
lighter.
can just dig in with it, but yeah, if you can leave us on a later note, we'd appreciate it.
2 steps forward into the forest. Light through tessellated tangles of brown skin and green blood, vitality and endurance, making of the air a shimmering net, capturing dust motes, small insects, and the footsteps of venturers. Caught in chiaroscuro, glen to glade, sun to shade, caught like milkweed in the web of transition from bright life to vespertine imagination. Magical miasmas rise from spongy moss and leaf litter like rich carpet underneath the vaulted ceiling of the tabernacle woods. The atmosphere is not interrupted by bird songs. Rather, they enrich the silence, slipping sideways to preserve its pristine nature and only ringing briefly underneath the hum of hush. Something chitinous and clever rasps itself against the nerves of any who have come so far. A sudden roar, and then the crisp calls faltering back below into the all-encompassing voice of the forest, all its weight, all its meaning, all its memory, like the richness our histories lack, whispers where the trees are singing. The sun is still right in the very edge of vision. Grass clings, but falling quickly, the body shedding its memory of the fields, leaving it to nourish the mysteries. Turn back, or not. There is no unknowing. Thank you.
Thank you. You just transported me to this magical forest, and it was beautiful. I love the miasma line. Oh, just your like Nemo said, your pen is fire. Like how I know you probably type these, but like how do you not melt the laptop or the phone or whatever it is that the device that you're typing? Like it it should just melt or like give you like a response just like no, you're too good. Like no, I can't even do this.
Well, off-gassing plastic would certainly take care of my genius pretty quickly.
Oh, it's great.
Thank you. I feel like you exaggerate quite a bit, but thank you anyway.
I'm not exaggerating. I honestly feel this way. Like honestly, like you are fire. I'm so surprised that my screen doesn't melt when you perform. Like it's beyond me. Like I hope to someday achieve the level of um, just expression that you have. It's amazing. It truly is, and it's always a pleasure hearing you. And it looks like we've got Kristi Scribbles that just showed up, so I will be adding them to the end of the list as well. But coming up next, we have Robert. So, Robert, if you would be so kind as to unmute yourself and bless us with some words or show us some art. I know, do you need to share screen feature?
Yes, please.
Let
Good
me
evening. I'm Robert Fleming, a writer and graphic artist from Delaware. And I will start with my opera confession. In 1997, I was dating an opera singer, Barry Mendelsohn, and he was performing in Pirates of the Penzance, and he was the major general. And he was also my major general at the time, but we've gone our separate ways. So I'm going to share tonight some new art, which is political. I found out about the new law in Tennessee about drag queens, and I was very upset with that today. So I decided to express myself with in graphic arts, and I'm also working with a mentor through the Horror Writers Association called Manny Blacksher, and he's encouraging me to treat my visual poetry more like art, where I separate the title and the description from the images. So this is called Tennessee Drag Queen Assembly, Queen by Brittany Banks. Brittany was the lead who was speaking out against the bill which was prohibiting drag queens in Tennessee. And on March 2nd, Governor Bill Lee signs the Dressed as Girls Prohibition bill. And I chose to include the word dressed as girls because that is the word Shakespeare used in his plays. In his time, all of the characters were portrayed by men, but when he wanted a man to portray a woman, on the right side of his text, he would write the word drag. And that was the origin of Dressed as Girls. This is the second piece. In front of the Capitol in Tennessee, they have a Liberty Bell. This wasn't called Silent Tennessee Liberty Bell. And the next one is a humorous piece about the governor. Bill Lee actually made a confession at one point in his life. He did do drag. And I was looking on the web to find a picture of Bill where he looks sad. But because he's a politician, every single picture, he was happy except one. So I did put a tear in his eye. And this is the second one where the only picture on the web where he doesn't look happy. He looks more angry in this picture. Thank you. So I'm going to submit these to a magazine called Oddball, which has a Pride submission. And it's one of the only magazines that has that. It's out of Boston. And I wanted to share my upcoming writing this year. In May of this year, my chapbook, Conway, will be published by Four Feathers Press, which is out of California. And in November, my visual poetry book, White Noir, will be published by Old Scratch Press. And I look forward to those publications and continuing to share with my artist community with you tonight, and greetings from Delaware.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Robert. Thank you for sharing that. And like, wow, Vale mentioned that that bill actually prohibits all gender performance and actually making it legal for cops to arrest trans people for just being themselves in public. That to me is absurd. When are all these old ignorant fucks trying to when are they gonna die off? Like, and it just still amazes me that in 2023 that there are people like this that are running our government.
Right. It's
It's
not only
crazy.
that they're
There's
running the government, that the people of Tennessee elected this governor.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
that's
it could be
more
even
shocking.
under false pretense. You know how those elections go. They promise the world and then deliver you a pile of shit.
Mhm.
And
there's currently 100, if I remember correctly, 137 bills like this running through right now for each of the states. And if you think about it, there's only 50 states, and in some of them, there's not even enough people that is less than 1% of 1% that would be affected by the bill to begin with.
wow,
Like that they're working so hard to hold people back.
that's just sad. That I mean, I love humanity. I love everyone and everyone deserves to be themselves, but like some of them just they need to be enlightened. I don't wish foul upon anyone, but people like that, we need to somehow reach out to them and open their minds. And that's what I really was hoping to kind of do with this and to link up with the poetry things because I believe us poets have a very good grasp on what's going on and we have a lot to say. And if somehow our words can reach their ears and make a difference, we have done our jobs. So yeah. Thank you so much, Robert, for sharing that piece. That was just beautiful and amazing. Coming up next, we have Principe, and it's their third time back in a row. And I'm so excited to hear what you have for us this week. And so, everybody, give it up for Principe.
Hello. Um, I'll read my poem. It's called Time to Grow. We begin as a seed that becomes a flower. I started as a seed, but I went in the opposite direction. I grew a shell with a juxtaposition. A covering always blocked this burning ball in the sky. It keeps the flower from growing. Out of that flower, it's a late bloomer, now standing on the sun. Yeah, I still feel like a turtle. Only difference is that I am older now. Now nothing stands in my way except me. That's all I have to say.
Beautiful piece, beautiful piece. Oh, I'm seeing your writing grow from the first time you came, and I hope that we've all inspired you. And I hope you continue to write and just find that voice because you have a lot to say, and you have such a beautiful way of saying it. Thank you so much for coming back. We hope to see you time and time again, and we hope to be there to inspire you on your journey of poetry. And yeah, thank you. Coming up next, we have someone who we ain't seen in a while, but they've been always there to support Open Minds, both in spirit and love, and even with some cash when our internet was out. Um, so yeah, I want to give a big props and big thank you to Kristi Scribbles. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for the channelings that you give us. Thank you for yeah. Oh my gosh, and my wife just comes running out. Kristi's there. It just she heard me say Kristi and just came running. So yeah, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we'd appreciate it.
Yes, sorry I'm late, everyone, but I really wanted to make sure to jump on for at least a little bit. It's been a couple of weeks, life, that's how life is sometimes. But I'm glad to be back and in this space. And this is just like a little one I found on my phone just now. I wrote it on the way home from my mom's house. Okay. I fall into stillness of the car ride, riding in the car, back to home I go, we go, back into flow, inside Bowie's words, inside the jeans genie, into Alice's world. Finding the weather has done nothing for me as we sail on this highway to the forever place, in the feathers face of the winged creatures outside my window, outside the plane of my existence, flying alongside me. Will it find me? Will it find me? Can it see through the see-through glass? Reflections of light of the ever-powerful night, the stars of lamps lighting the way home to the place. I rest my head upon my pillow and fall into madness. Or is it stillness? Or is it realness? The realness of the dreamland, of the place of the upside down. I fall and twist and turn inside the pages of my own mind until I land into me and see what I see inside the inside world me. Does the floor exist? Does the dream exist? Do these words exist? I am not sure. Surely I am real. Surely the dream is still inside my imagination, or is this car ride inside my infatuation of justification of the real world, of the reality of the everyday me? I cannot see, I cannot be, but I can see, and I can be as I sit here in the passenger seat on my way home, to lay my head upon my pillow and dream again, or become the dream, or leave the dream. The road goes on. The road goes on. The road goes on forever. Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, the road goes on forever. Oh, thank you so much, Chrissy. My wife feels nourished again. Thank you. Um, so yeah, coming up next we have Jane's spoken word. We haven't heard from her in a while. I'm really excited. Um, so Jane, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we'd much appreciative.
Hey y'all, how you doing? Hey. All right, I got a couple of pieces, two shorties, pretty short. And they're kind of pissed off poem because I'm really pissed off at what's happening today. So we'll start with cruel men and mean women. We are living in a time of certain doubt where cruel men and mean women wield their self-appointed power of Bibles, piously pulling verses over our eyes, wretched faces hating at me from TV screens, screaming eternal damnation scenes in the name of their gods. America's royal lineage of preachers and politicians immersed in superstition with every breath condemn us to hellfire damnation on a slow train called death of freedom. Vengefully severed from the promised garden, surrounded by wailing walls of lamentation, rising from the volcanic mud of beasts, monsters of horror prey upon us, the feast. Death makes angels and devils of us all, made naked, born to suffer for your heavenly rewards. Crucifix around my neck, Hail Mary on my lips, contemplating murder or forgiveness. Oh gosh.
Oh, I love hearing from you. Oh, you just get that fire going inside of me. Oh, I love it.
All right, and then this one I wrote on, I was gonna do a poetry session. It was a live session with my bass player. And I heard somebody in the audience say, what's that old white lady gonna do? So this is what I wrote. I'm tired of all this ageist bullshit because you don't know what box I fit, you little shit. Looking all sideways at me, wondering who the fuck this white lady be. Cracking on my not your race, you ain't never seen my Pepe's face. All dark and leathered, his history was erased. War painted and standing brave, from this world all the way to his grave. On a vision quest to honor my war chest. Celebrating all my relations with sacred incantations, I am a poet. Not a blow-up doll, not a picture in your pocket. I'm the examiner, not a stone on your finger, not a dollar in your wallet. I am a rhymer. I'm here to spit, you little shit. I said you don't know what box I fit. Give me that mic, I will spit fire. Give me that mic, I will flow bars. Give me that mic, I'll shine a light. Give me that fucking mic, I'll take you higher. So cut the bullshit, because you don't know what box I fit. I am all about looking for a place that's it, where complexion ain't the connection to who you think I am. I'm just a ream of paper and a burning hot fucking pen. Peace, yo. Shit.
Shane spoken word with the mic drop.
Yo, for real. Hey, thank you so much for coming through and spitting for us tonight. Yo, we miss you. We love you.
Thank you.
Just, oh, I
It's
love
Thanks
it.
for
And
spoken
having me
word,
on. It's
it
okay?
makes
great
me
to
want to
see
Spoken
like get
word,
everybody.
out in the
okay?
streets
She's
and
spoken
just,
word. Her name is spoken word, okay? Okay, pay attention. Spoken word, okay. Enough
yeah,
said.
yo, like, yo, she makes me want to rally up the troops and go make a change, yo. Like,
That's the purpose, right? That's the
yeah,
purpose.
yeah,
Yeah, word up. All
for
right, cool.
sure. We
Thank you all
love
for
you.
listening. Looking forward to it. Kristi, you busted it as usual. Vayl, you always bring the fire. I mean, every single one of you. Nemo, you're deep. Diane, oh my God, your voice just lulls you in. Robert, I'm not real familiar with you, but I will be. Lantern Carrier, you have my heart. Magus, you're the fucking fire poet too. Oh my God. Shockie, yeah, you guys rock. And I'm looking forward to hearing Karen. Oh, I know you, Karen. I recognize you. Principe, Jenny, and Tabitha. I'm looking forward to hearing you. You guys rock it. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. All right, so we're gonna start round two. Um, and kind of keeping in the flow of the first poem I did, which was about South Florida. Um, I have, and then Karen's here too. So, I actually have another mother, Karen, who I call my other mother, Karen, and it was my best friend's mom, and she's like the epitome of like a Fort Lauderdale girl, you know what I mean? Like she grew up in Fort Lauderdale in the 60s and 70s and she's still just rocking it. And so in the spirit of South Florida and since Karen's here, I figure I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So yeah. So here we go. This is called My Other Mother, Karen. Sun-kissed skin wrapped around this gin. Eyes that set fire to anyone she desires. Leathered skin, sandals worn thin, so many miles. Smiles passed on for days, consumed in her ways. Crazy? Maybe, but may we get lost in her maze? It's amazing. Just when you find the way, it's blazing. Better step left, juke, jive, take a dive. We'll both survive this ride. Another night falls, still she stands tall. Open arms, open heart. She has love for all. Mother is the word that I call. Thank you, and that's from my other mother, Karen. And yeah, so coming up next, we got Shockie G. They gotta dip out and hit some Tesoro things, so we're all gonna be blessed with one last poem or two from Shockie. So Shockie, if you could unmute yourself and bless us with them words, we'd appreciate it.
All right. Move. I'm gonna try to do this piece. I got an in-person show coming up next weekend. So I've been trying to do these pieces because I have to have them memorized. So I'm gonna do one of those pieces. So if I mess up, I'm sorry. All right. Give me a second, sorry. All right. Listen, I've had too many women sell me a dream with their eyes open. I'm not sleeping well anyway. I have emptied out my piggy bank heart for nothing, searching around for coupons as if saving things will make me feel alive again. Somewhere under this kaleidoscope moonlight, I've been trying to bury something other than myself, but depression doesn't work that way. I know. So I've stopped digging. I'm afraid to find bones that look too much like the skeletons in my own closets, y'all. I'm haunted by the idea of heartbreak. I got lonely ghosts passing through these walls that feel like prison bars. I'm just tallying the amount of days till I find freedom. You told me once, no matter where we were, if we looked at the moon, we could share a moment. But I've been learning the further south you go, the view is upside down. And I've been seeing stranger things in my upside down. And up till now, if you asked me what love looked like, I would say she was 5'1" and beautiful. At least through rose-colored glasses and whiskey goggles, I'm not sure I'd recognize if she walked right past me now. These days, I look at my feet when I'm walking anyway. Ain't trying to fall again. She don't understand. So this is just another broken-hearted rant written off the tips of broken-hearted hands, my pen bleeding like severed artery, open wounds. I'm sorry if I happen to bleed on you.
Yeah, Shockie. Yo, sorry if I happen to bleed on you. You got one more for us before you gotta take off?
Oh, yeah, sure. I got another one somewhere. Let's see.
All right. Yes, thank you.
Okay. I wrote this one yesterday. Today, I stared into a bottle of antidepressants, head bent like a prayer, begging each dream in the form of a circle to take the pain away. I've never been a fan of The Wizard of Oz, but I've always wanted to be the Tin Man. I've convinced myself the yellow brick road is just a back road covered in empty pill bottles. I have no interest in the Emerald City, or love for that matter. What they don't tell you is after the Tin Man got a heart, he fell in love with the can opener, cut him open, cut him deep, and left him empty. You can find him in a recycle bin, swiping right on anything, promising to give him purpose. Tinder is a good name for a can drive, and love is a non-perishable item even hungry people leave on the shelf. Nobody really wants it, but they pass it along for charity. So I've been popping pills instead.
Ooh, yo, that was dope. I love that Tin Man line. Uh, thank you so much, Shocky. Yeah, thanks for coming out tonight. Thanks for doing that workshop with me. Um, I hope that you expand upon that poem because I want to hear it in its completion. I know we didn't have much time to write, so yeah, I really hope that you flesh that one out because that was dope, man. It really captured the city, and I know that you can turn that thing into something beautiful. So yeah, thank you so much for showing up. Hey, homie, I fucking love you.
Mutual.
Bet. All right, so coming up next, we got the Magus Gustav Salas.
Okay, I have two pieces. One is an original and one is a cover for Women's History Month. slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, and institutional racism, American apartheid, a nation built on genocide, lynching then to police-sanctioned murder today. We must confront this. It won't go away, but they try to cover it up, calling it CRT, erasing our bloody history to reinforce white supremacy, a nightmarish fascist fantasy. Don't tell me I'm overreacting now. By inaction and silence, we will allow theocracy to rise in the USA, American apartheid here to stay, freedom a dream denied. Where were you when democracy died? Thank you. And this next piece is,
Powerful, man.
thank you. And this next piece is by Patti Smith. It's called Babylon. I haven't fucked much with the past, but I fucked plenty with the future. Over the skin of silk are scars from the splinters of stations and walls I've caressed. A stage like each bolt of wood, like a dog, like a lap of Helen is my pleasure. I would measure the success of a night by the amount of piss and seed I could exude over the columns that nestled the PA. Some nights I'd surprise everyone by skipping off with a skirt of green net sewed over a flat metallic circles, which dazzled and flashed. The lights were violet and blindingly white. I had an ornamental veil. I can't bear to use it. With the way my hair was cropped, I craved covering. But now that my hair itself is a veil and the scalp inside is a scalp of a crazy and a sleepy Comanche lies beneath this netting of skin, I wake up. I am lying peacefully. I desire him, and he is, and my knees are open to the sun, and he is absolutely ready to seize me. But in my heart, I'm a Muslim. In heart, I'm an American. In heart, I'm a Muslim. In heart, I'm an American artist, and I have no guilt. I seek pleasure. I seek the nerves under your skin, the narrow archway, the layers, the scroll of the ancient lettuce. We worship the flaw, the belly, the mole on the belly of an exquisite whore. He spared the child and spoiled the rod. I have not sold myself to God. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. That was intense. Who is that by?
Patti Smith off Easter. She's a seminal punk rock artist.
Oh, amazing. I'm gonna have to look in there. You gotta send me some.
Okay, will do.
Awesome. All right, so coming up next, we have the Lantern Carrier. If you can unmute yourself and bless us with some words.
Un momento. I'll give you a very different piece. It reads like bereavement and combined with inspiration. When I am gone, remember me, not because I saw in you the light of my beloved, not because of the sweet inspirations whispering through the magnificence of our souls. I have made a covenant in the sanctuary of thy heart. My breath, like the grace-like enchantment of a ballerina, floats effortlessly in the ether, and yet, remember me not for these things. I have sung songs in your spirit, woven a magical tapestry of the heaven. My words a lover's paradise in the celestial spheres. Remember me not for these things. You will find me in the supernal beauty of a glorious dawn, the fluttering of your heart when, like twinkling stars, I waltz through the constellations. Yes, your eyes will sparkle at the wonder of the firmament and say, this too is him. For out of the frailty and infirmity of this bodily temple was squeezed the last ounce of splendor. When I am gone, remember me. I will be in the delicacy of the snowflakes in a winter's morn, the purity and innocence of a child's smile, and the sweet cadences of cosmic light. I will be in the radiance of your sunset, and in the sand pebbles, you will find my gems. The greatness of the horizon's edge will give you a sweet and tingling inner glow, and you will know that we are meant to be. When I am gone, remember me. Remember me. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Oh, you will be remembered for sure. Ain't no forgetting you. Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for coming through and blessing us, brother.
Brenton
Come.
Carrier has the kind of voice that if you have to hear bad news, you'd rather hear him
Yeah,
tell you.
yeah, exactly,
You got
right?
that right, Diane. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
definitely, definitely. All right, so coming up next, we got Nemo Sum. So Nemo, if you're ready, go ahead and unmute yourself and bless us with some words, brother.
Thank you. I am ready. I am honored to be reading with such fire poets tonight. One of the important moments for me in fighting my mental illness came in the point when I was able to finally recognize that some of the thoughts that I have aren't really my own. They are the illness speaking. And so this micro triptych is about that. I come downstairs to find my bad brain drinking coffee and reading the funny pages. The room smells of stacks of disappointment and the bitter, pungent dregs of shame. He shifts in his chair as I step over and around the boxes and the laundry he's strewn in my way. Although he moves his face closer to the pages, I can sense his attention pulling on my shoulder blades as I try to shrug it into place. I know he's feeling for his chance to slide up behind me so he can slip his frigid fingers around my heart and underneath my balls, gripping not like a lover, not like a practitioner, no, as the possessor who keeps and does not share. He wants us to be alone with our pain. We dance each morning like two old lovers vying to lead, as he tries to convince me to stay in and shut the curtains and find a screen, and I fight my way to the door. I cannot help but smile when I hear him scream as I drag him out into the light of the possibility of love. Awkward steps on the stairs bring his ruffled visage into view. Every day he looks surprised to see me, eyes red from before when I made him cry. The room reeks of him and his mess is everywhere. I pulled the junk out where he can see it, but I'm sure he's just going to go around. I'm waiting for my chance to take control. I have to hold him tight these days, snatch his motivation so he'll stay with me, alone, where I can keep him safe, because I cannot let him get outside. I pulled him out of the inside of me as he kicked and scratched and screamed. Shadow tearing from flesh, I separated him and made him other. Thank you.
Yeah, everybody unmute and give it up for Nemo.
Yeah, great
Man,
work.
wow. Holy shit. So good.
Grab me by the balls, it did.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. All right, so coming up after Nemo, we've got Diane Ward.
Yeah,
If you could
Diane.
bless us with some words, we'd appreciate it very much.
I have one piece I'm going to read. It's a short piece, and it's titled All That Counts. Does being conscious matter? Does being honest matter? Does having a moral compass matter? Does caring for others matter? Is all that counts your satisfaction? How unfortunate and unsettling. But I'm not judging, but yes, I am, because I've labeled a behavior ruthless and conniving, all too frequent in business. So at the end of the day, I believe that all that counts for living life is being a good person, having moral strength, and stamina. Moral decisiveness, fairness, all that counts is that you unselfishly bring aid and service others, and that you don't hurt yourself and others intentionally, and that you feel and give love throughout your entire life till the end of your life. So, all that counts is being conscious of your behavior, your contribution, your ability to make positive change, which doesn't require wealth, doesn't require anything more than your attention, respect, and a willingness to set your compass facing love. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Miss Diane. Oh, that was beautiful words, beautiful words. All right, so let's continue this thing on. Coming up next we have Vayl. Vayl, I don't know if you've seen the message I sent you too. At the end of the show I started doing like a little goodnight poem that I wrote for Open Minds. If you could read it for us tonight at the end of the show. If you have to leave early, that's cool. I'll find somebody else to do it. But I like getting different people to read it because it's so much fun hearing other people read it. If not, don't worry about it. I'm sure somebody else could do it. You're muted. Okay.
Hey, sorry, man. I wasn't looking at messages. I was just listening. I usually don't look at the chat while I'm listening, so I
Yeah.
missed all of your messages. I'm sorry.
Okay. It was basically I was just asking if you could read the goodnight poem tonight.
Yeah, I'll read it. Yeah,
Awesome.
like at the end.
Yeah, yeah, at the end, after everyone's
Cool.
done,
Yeah,
when we say goodbye. Oh, awesome. Thank you
cool.
so much.
No problem.
I love hearing it come from different people because everyone has like their own style and stuff. And it's really
Yeah,
short, really simple, but I don't know, I want to start doing it.
cool.
Because I think it's a cool little thing to do. All right,
That's
so
a good
yeah,
tradition.
yeah. Awesome. So yeah, you're up next.
I'm up
I'd love to
next.
hear what you got.
Okay. I think I might have read this one here before. I'm in the middle of rehearsals from the play, and so my writing has been sporadic and occasional.
I
And
I
oh,
love hearing your poems multiple times. Like
good.
it's a, if you read something you've read here before, I love it. Like I love hearing your stuff. Like I go back sometimes and I watch your feature just 'cause like honestly, I'm not over exaggerating when I say you're one of my favorite writers
Well,
and you
thank you.
inspire me. Like you really do. And I hope you understand that.
Thanks. Okay, well, I will read. This isn't about hope. This isn't about hope anymore. This isn't a promise for a better tomorrow. I'm not singing of spaceships and walks in the sun. This isn't about hope. Hope is for children still shy of the world. Hope is for fools who never learned wisdom. They sure love the Buddha, they say, as they smudge with sweet grass they stole and prayers and languages they don't understand. But they forget lesson one. This plane is pain, princess. Hope is for foolishness, for play, at best for love and poetry. This isn't about hope. Let me welcome you here to this planet. She moves, grows. She thinks and considers. Her temper and tenderness surround all her children, and every wonder you've dreamed of is carried with her through a vastness we never will see. Let me welcome you, destroyer, to this planet, where children are monsters and tear up their homes, where knowledge brings violence, where the brutal overpower the strong. Here we have pain, loves. Here we have torture upon torment and lies upon greed. Here we have desperation, destroyers. This isn't about hope. Do you remember the first time you found something alive to love? Imagine loving every life. Imagine all that love attuned, all resonating. This isn't about hope, though. The tide we summoned is here. The seas shift, then the land, then the poles, and we will be undone almost certainly. Undone, maybe not in Armageddon, more like thin, clinging remnants of humanity lingering in derelict, anachronistic lives. Do you remember learning that there are indigenous societies where rape does not exist? Do you know? This is about movement. This is about accepting the catastrophes we have called up for ourselves and for billions who never asked for transformation. Stop. Stop hoping. This is about how we have to stop the war against our mother, against our home, against ourselves, against all of those trillions of innocents everywhere. Save what we can if that isn't ourselves. We never earned the right to the life of a Leviathan. This is about mercy. This isn't about hope.
I love that piece. I could hear it 10 more times. You could read that every week if you need it.
If this
Don't
play
ever
keeps
worry
going, you
about
might.
me. Yeah, excellent. Oh, has
Okay.
so you guys started the play. Can you give us some more information on that? And has it been put somewhere recorded so we can watch it?
We're in rehearsals right now. The play opens April 21st.
Okay.
All 4 performances are going to be live streamed, but the Saturday matinee performance is going to be free to live stream
Ooh.
because part of my contract with the theater was that the door would go to a couple of homeless organizations, and that they would sorry, train of thought.
Live streaming for us poor folk who can't afford to watch it but love you.
And not just you, but like it's a play about homelessness designed to bring support to the homeless community, and we don't want it to be inaccessible to them.
Yeah.
So Thursday is a dress rehearsal that's going to be free to attend for members of the community.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
for who are there. And then for anybody who's not there who can get to a computer, the live stream on Saturday is free.
Oh my God. And that's Saturday what?
Saturday, the April 22nd. I'll
April
post all the
22nd.
info when the tickets go on sale.
Okay, thank you so much. Because yes, I'm so interested in this play. And I heard Elemental is helping you out as a consultant on it as well. Like I
Yep,
am
Elemental
so excited.
was a cultural sensitivity consultant on it because that was another condition I had because I wanted to make sure it was read by people other than me for that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And another poet of people's acquaintance, Norm Maddox, is playing one of the main characters.
that's so cool. I'm excited to see it, man. Oh, another month, oh, a month and a half almost. I'm excited. All right, so yeah, let's keep this thing going. Coming up next here, we've got Robert. So Robert, if you could please bless us. I think you're still co-host, so if you need to share screen, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay. Good evening again. I'm Robert Fleming. I'll now share some of my writing as opposed to my graphics, and I'm going to continue on with the theme of music. I'm grateful to the publisher, James Wagner, who's the editor of Local Gems Press that I started publishing with in 2017. He did a book on this format called the grid poem, where you're supposed to have meaning left to right and then top to down. And I tried 3 of these poems. This is one of them. And I found it almost as difficult or even more difficult than writing sonnets, and almost as painful as having hemorrhoids. But I will share one of them I did. It's called 5 Male Singing Voices. Pretend you're a bird, falsetto. Highest a glass breaks, countertenor. High mountain tops, snow tenor. low meadow off moss baritone, lowest sing a drum bass. And all of the verticals top to down, I totally fucked up, but I'll just read the first one. Pretend highest, high, low, lowest. So that was my attempt at the grid poem. And then I will share one more, which is about music. It's about a chorus.
First off, let me just say I've never heard of the grid poem format, and that's amazing. I wanna give a go at it. I think I'm gonna give it a shot. You inspired me, sir.
Are you sure it can be really painful?
I have hemorrhoids, and you said it could be as painful as a hemorrhoid, so I'm
Yes, it can
used
be
to
as
the pain.
painful as
So
hemorrhoids running a
I
grid
I
poem.
deal with it every day, so I'm used to it. I think I can muscle through it.
Good luck. Good luck. My second one is also about music. It's about a chorus. Not ready for an audience. The male choir howls Old Yeller, and choristers beg choir master, don't shoot me down. Concert is at noon. Choir master is no master. Apollo, O a cappella, save our choir. Choir master called Apollo, came. Why is your song wrong? Choristers sing, Apollo listens. Your countertenors are mezzo-sopranos. Your falsettos are countertenors. Your tenors are falsettos. Your baritones are tenors. Your basses are baritones. Earth raised your choristers pitch by shrinking their larynx and shortening their vocal cords. Acelus, my son, heal these mortals. Choristers drink the Olympus testosterone medicine. Choristers, again from first note. Choristers are ready for an audience. Thank you for letting me share two of my poems about the male voice and singing.
Thank you for sharing them with us. They were amazing. Yeah, I love everything you do, Robert, man. You're such a creative person. From the visual arts to your writing, like, you got it going on. All right, so let's keep this thing moving on. Coming up next, we got Principe. So, Principe, if you'd be so kind as to bless us with some words, we'd appreciate it.
I'll read my poem called Shoot High. Shoot high. That's how I got to do it. But I'm passive aggressive, never show no aggression. It's to go at my own pace, slow, methodical. That's who I am. Sometimes the sun don't always shine over here. Admittedly, I be in my own head, overthinking and jumping to conclusions. That's right there. That right there is the L. Segment shifts, ring out. I got a bad case of procrastination. After all, I still shoot high. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. What? That was dope. Yo, keep it up, man. Keep coming back every Friday, man. We love hearing from you. Yes. All right, so coming up next, we've got Kristi Scribbles. Kristi, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we'd appreciate it. You're muted.
You're muted.
There you go.
Thank you.
Try again. We can. Poems are. I find poems are a lot easier to hear when your mic's unmuted.
Okay, I wrote this one a couple of days ago, and I'm gonna go off video just because that's how I feel right now. Okay, here we go. I find the silence lonely sometimes as I sit inside my house upon my floor, cross-legged as I type. I feel the need to write a call, a heartache of a feeling, one that has been lost among the pages of a void. I have not been writing. It's funny. That's the thing that saves me, has lost me, among the trees' canopy, right up there, but too far away. I could almost see it as I walked by. I would feel it brush up against my cheek when wrapped inside the covers of a bed, of a place, that feel bad place that holds me when my body aches. My body aches. It hurts. It hurts. It's tired. She's tired. I'm tired of being tired. Too tired to carry the laundry. Too tired to clean. Too tired to participate. Too tired to poetry. I've been too tired to poetry. To write any, to hold any, to consume any. Too tired to emotion. Too tired to listen. Too tired to be. So I let go, let it all go, and gathered my things, my crystals, my books, my blankets, and I retreated into a deep cave that sits inside me, into the depths of corridors that any mortal human would lose their way in, would find darkness in, would repel the dampness in, the echoes, the droplets of dripping sounds that remind you of everything that you have ever said or felt or experienced. This cave inside me can feel so lonely when the echoes remind me of what used to be, of what could be, of what I am. So many hallways of little offshoots. Time is different there. There in my cave, it can move like water, like arching, rocking movements. The time ticks differently down there, in there, where the crystals twinkle all around the walls, and the perfectly poised big comfy couches that I nap on when it's too much. It is too much sometimes, and too little, and not enough, and too much, and not fucking enough, and definitely too fucking much. Too much of enough. Too much of enough, but just when I thought I might allow it to consume me, allow the couch to swallow me, just when I didn't think it was there or anything or any more, that stirring of my heart space that feels like broken, actually, that feels heavy, sitting in the cavern of the chest that is me, and the tingles they spark, and the churning of words, of emotions, of release, of divine, of divinity, of poetry crawls up my spine and down my arms and into my hands and typed into my notes on my phone. And then just like that, they are back. I am back. Writing is back. And I do feel better having written this. And the magic happened in the writing of the words and the crafting of the art form that sits inside prose and poetry and freedom that allows in the expression of not giving a fuck if it's not good enough, or how it looks compared to yours, or how it reads to you. No fucks have been given today. Just fucking poetry. Just fucking life. Just fucking honesty and fucking healing. Just working on healing. Just working is healing. Writing is healing. Sharing is healing. Community is healing. The art is the healing, and the words come back around. So just stick in there. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't let go. It comes back around. It comes back around. What goes up must come down, but it comes back around. Don't give up. Don't give up. It always comes back around. What goes down must come up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Thank you.
Don't give up. Oh, what a powerful piece. As always, Kristi. My wife just like every time you read, she's like, "Oh my goodness!" Like, so yeah, you have a fan. Um, so I was gonna read one last piece because I'm actually in 10 days from now, right? It's on the 13th, babe. Is that Slam down in Calgary? I think it was the 13th. In 10 days from now, I'm actually gonna be performing live for the first time down in Calgary, which is like our big city in Alberta here. And so I have to come prepared with 3 pieces. And I figured I would do Phantoms, Ganja Blue, and I forget the other one that I was gonna do. But um, before I do that though, Terry Rose just showed up. And so Terry, if you'd like to read a poem or two for us before we end the night out, we'd appreciate it.
Sure.
Awesome.
Hi,
Okay.
how's everybody doing?
We're doing great now that you're here.
Wow, okay. I'm looking for, whoops. Can't remember how to use my phone some days. I guess this is this an old people thing that I cannot
Yeah, you
remember
got
how to
old
use my phone?
timers disease.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm trying to find my there it is. Couldn't find my notes. Okay, all right. Here we go. Here's a good one. Oops, where it moved to where I can want it. Okay, hold on. Okay. I am not human. I am a non-life form that has replaced the humans who once inhabited the fourth planet from the sun. The Earthlings were analyzed and determined to be too barbaric life form to continue to exist peacefully in the universe. They have ultimately exterminated themselves as a member of the Watchers of all things in the universe. We were able to keep the planet Earth from exploding and destroying the surrounding solar systems. We will start a new species this time, one with robotic minds plugged into the galaxies with common goals of peaceful coexistence.
I love it. I loved it. Oh my God, I
I
love
don't
the
really,
voice that you performed
my
in it
robot
too.
voice kind of needs work, but I
No,
think
that
that
was
was,
great. Cause like, the AI is gonna learn a little bit from us, right? Like you don't have to sound too robotic. It's gonna try to sound like a human. You did wonderful.
I did that for like a Tumblewares workshop the other day, and it was kid. I think it was one of kids things.
Awesome.
Um, yeah. My stuff is just. I've been writing a lot about death lately, so it's kind of hard to
Go
end.
for it,
I don't
man.
want to end on death.
Well, no,
That's.
cause I actually have kind of a death poem too, and then Vale's gonna read our goodnight poem. So
Oh, okay, okay. So it won't be ending. Okay.
yeah, exactly. So you're good.
Okay. All right. So where am I in my body? I'm hiding behind the heart where the painful pangs still cause it to beat, beating me over the head with circular history of poorly chosen ones for partners. My body weeps. It wants peace and never can find it. My mind wants to tell my body to give up, but the will to survive is a basic instinct that my mind can't seem to overrule. So I sit in my room, barricaded in from all the fools that want to steal it. I scream for them to leave me alone, but they are narcissists and they don't care enough to heed my request. I lay here exhausted, both mentally and physically. Poetry is my solace. It demands nothing from me. Poetry is my best mate, unconscious healer, encouraging me to go on forcing my ejection from this body or remaining hidden here until my last bastion of hope appears, holding my pen in these hands.
Yes, thank you for showing up. Even if
Thanks.
you were late, like, oh, I feel blessed to be able to hear you and to see your face. I love you, you know that, and it's so great to see you. Um, all right, but we gotta close this thing out. So, um, yeah, in 10 days, I'm gonna do my first live performance. I'll make sure Jessica records it so you guys can laugh at me later on. But yeah, it's a poetry slam, so I have to have 3 poems memorized. So I'm gonna try to do this one from memory, but I have it here just in case. So I'm gonna look at the camera and perform it. But if you see me go like this for a second, it's because I forgot my next line. Um, yeah, this one's for Ganja Blue, which is about death also. It's one of our cats, one of our children, because we can't have kids. So it's about one of our children who died. It was the first cat that I actually picked out from a kitten and was like, "You are my little boy." And I let him down. He was attacked, got an infection, and we didn't have money to take him to the vet. So the infection killed him, and it really hit me hard. I was sober. I started drinking again, and so yeah, it really hit me hard. But I'm gonna perform this live, so I gotta, ugh, I gotta get my performance boots on. All right, here we go. It's called Ganja Blue. Waters flow, rivers grow, push banks to outer brinks. Your soul, a shrine. Ah, I fucked up. Hold up. I have to rehearse this. Sorry if I'm taking too long here. Um, Waters flow, rivers grow, push banks to outer brinks. Your soul shines, a shrine we lovingly crafted for you, my sweet baby blue. As long as the sun beams, I'll dream of you. Seems you left too soon, seen in every room, in every flower's bloom. Every moment spent under the moon, sent to us from her. The size of your purr is insurmountable. Ah, fucking A. I fucked it up again. Every moment spent under the moon, sent to us from her, an angel disguised in fur. The size of your purr is insurmountable. Your eyes were a mountain full, a gaze to be praised. It's safe to say you were a meowsing, arousing my curiosity when you played. The pure luminosity of your brain left a stain. It's never been the same. I think of you often, soft and strong. Your spirit will live on. Thank you for putting up with my bullshit. I need to rehearse that. I have to memorize that because that's going to be one of the performance pieces that I do live in 10 days. So I'm really nervous. I've never performed live before, but you guys give me the confidence that I need. So thank you. Yeah. And so to end tonight, we got this new tradition. It's kind of like what New Yo and Deadpan's been doing with like this good night poem, and I try to pick someone to read it differently every night. And tonight, Vayl has decided to do it. So thank you, Vayl. If you could close us out with this piece.
Okay. I'm going to make one edit because I have a personal mission to never use black or dark as negative metaphors in my writing because white
Okay.
people do it all the time. So I'm going to make a tiny edit in your poem. If you don't like it, you don't have to keep it. It's just for me.
I love it. In fact, I might keep the edit. So if you can send it
We'll see
back
what you
to
think
me
of it.
with the edit, yeah, if I like it, I'm cool. I'm always open. That's why I wanted somebody else to read it differently each night because like it could morph, it could change, it could grow, it could be our poem.
Well, that's
You know what I
cool.
mean?
I to be clear, I'm not trying to pressure you to change your poem. I was explaining that I have a personal
I
thing about
yeah,
that.
I trust your writing. Like I said, you're one of my favorite writers, and if you want to put an edit on my poem, like I don't take offense to that at all. In fact, I see it as an honor. Like, and I would be honored for you to like make my poetry better. So yeah, let's all give it up for Vayl reading the Goodnight Open Minds poem.
Okay. Thank you, beautiful soul, for sharing your heart. Thank you for being here and caring for art. Thank you for unfolding the wholeness, for being a part, for participating in our mission to spread light into the night, for your stimulating transmission and widespread sight. Thank you for visiting Open Minds Open Mic.
Ooh, I loved it. For spreading light into our night. Oh, okay, I loved it. Send me that revised. That'll be the new one. I
It's
appreciate
just the
you.
one word, just dark
Yeah,
as night instead.
as dark as night. I love it. Okay, awesome. I will
Okay.
make that edit and that'll be it. Yeah, so thank you all for being here. Like Vale just said, thank you for being part of Open Minds Open Mic. It wouldn't be anything without you guys. We had an amazing turnout tonight, such amazing talent, and I love you guys so much that you know what? I have one last thing to say. If I can find it. Yeah. I just want to say the day I decided to create this space, I was looking for a safe place for me to find my voice and vent. Little did I know it would make a dent in this community. Gained poetic immunity. It's insane all the people who flew to me. You all seriously grew on me. Open minds, open arms. Y'all showed me so much love, made me feel I could do no harm. It revitalized my soul, gave me purpose. The first show I did, I was so fucking nervous. By week 3, seeing what it became to be, a beautiful zoo full of creative creatures, off the leash with the dopest features. It blew my mind on how over time the amazing poets stood in line just to share love and rhyme. I really need to get this off my chest. Being around all of you, I truly feel blessed. So, from the very bottom of my heart, thank you all for shining light on my dark, on my night. Ah, thank you all for shining light on my night. There you go. I'm gonna switch this one too. Hey, I love you guys. Um, thank you for coming out tonight. It was another amazing night. I can't thank you guys enough. Like, you guys make my whole week. I love doing this. I love showing up and hearing from you guys. And yeah, I don't know what else to say except for peace, love, and stay inspired.
I think Karen thought I was lying.
When what?
I'm sorry, I totally agree. Apropos of nothing, because you're the only people who said Karen, who was a former opera singer.
Yeah.
Like when I said, "Oh, I was a former opera
Oh,
singer too," she had this look on her face, like, "Of course you were, sweetie."
well, in her defense, you don't look 45 years old.
But I
You look
am.
20. I know, you look the opposite. You look not even the opposite. I mean, you look like 24, not 45. Like, you look so freaking young. And that was so
When I
cool.
was
What an
24, I was
opera
an opera
night.
singer.
Exactly. And you did never age since then. You just stayed the same. It was
No, you
cool
know
too
what?
how
It's
Robert brought up in that poem too. He had that poem about the opera. Like, we had an opera night tonight. That was like
yeah,
an underlying
that was
theme that I
awesome.
didn't even plan for. That was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Hey, Vale, thank you so much for coming through, man. I
No
really do love
problem.
and
Thanks for
respect
having
you.
me.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye. Peace
Thanks
out,
so much. Good
Nemo.
night.
Yeah, man. Hope to see you again soon, brother.
I'm sure you will.
All right, man. Have a good one.